All right, welcome back. So it is December 31st, 2023, better known as 123123. And this is going to be my year in review video. So we're going to be taking a ride on the train to Metro North into the city to ring in the new year. And we're going to look back on my layout progress during 2023. So let's get on board. So 2023 started off very slow as far as layout progress because of my surgery I had in December. I had to delay construction on the layout until March, but when I did, I really gained some really good momentum of getting some progress done. So one of my first tasks was to install the L-girder benchwork and then prepare for the hidden staging underneath the main layout. During this ride into the city, I'm going to be showing you some progress in the layout during 2023 and also pointing out some notable sites on the old New Haven. So work began on the Maybrook yard, which was going to be hidden staging, and I decided to make an inbound yard and an outbound yard. So in March of 23, I was able to run the first train through the old Waterbury yard. One of the cool things about riding Metro North is you can see the old tracks that once the New Haven had. A lot of old sidings are still in place. It's hard to see from a moving train, but if you look closer, you can see the old sidings, and it's great for modeling. As I was installing track for Maybrook, I would test almost each piece as I put it in, and I just wanted to make sure I had no issues as I was installing it. So we're entering Stanford, but we're also going to be passing the high rail truck that you saw a short on earlier. As we're entering Stanford, we're going to be seeing the wash facility and also the storage yard for all the M8s and also for the diesels as well. I took an original piece of the center peninsula and made a loop track with it. And with more track installation comes more testing with the test train. So far, everything was working very well. And now the yard ladder is starting to slowly be installed. And as I was installing it, more test trains came through. So in this video, we're going to see the train move from track 3, which is the local track, and we're going to be going to the express track, which is track 1, all the way to 125th Street. So I was able to complete the Maybrook Yard hidden staging, and I'm also starting to solder in all my feeders. So I also raised this layout. So I raised the original tabletops up a foot, and all the original tops are back on. So another thing that I was able to get done in 2023 was I repurposed the original skyboards that were on the layout. Now the original skyboards, the original layout had 2 skyboards, which you'll see in this video, and they were on the helix side of the layout. And what I did is I moved them to the opposite side of the layout. Now these had mountains attached to them, and there's a little notch in one of the skyboards, and that's where one of the trains came out of hidden staging. And I ended up putting all new bracing on both of these skyboards, and they're currently mounted on the layout. So here are the skyboards with all the brand new bracing, and I ended up increasing the amount of bracing that was on there, and I also made the some of the pieces longer so I can attach it to the layout. Since I raised the layout a foot, it was easier to attach it to the actual layout. One of my favorite areas on the Metro North New Haven line is New Rochelle, which we're going through right now. Metro North likes to store equipment down there. There's some storage tracks, and also where the New Haven line splits. We're going to pass it in just a moment. It's the area where New Haven Railroad used to take freight down to Sunnyside Yard, and it's definitely a cool area. There's also a switch tower there as well. And here is the split I was speaking of earlier. And that area goes down to Sunnyside Yard. Now, since we're going into New York, I am modeling a section of Brooklyn on the layout. So let's go check out the area of where I'm modeling. So I decided to put a car float on the layout. I had a small section that I could pretty much fit a Walther's car float in, but I needed a yard to service the car float. So I modeled Bay Ridge Yard. So what I did on the Center Peninsula, I'm going to be raising the Center Peninsula, so this is going to be the lower section. And I took a piece of 1/2-inch plywood and put 1/2-inch homosote on top, and this is going to be my yard. This is going to be 4 tracks, but something small to service the car float. So I put a couple of tracks in to start, and then as with all my track work, I test it out. So I decided to make this hidden stage invisible, so I added a backdrop, and in the next video you're going to see it painted. So as you can see here, I have the bracing now to raise the Center Peninsula to match the rest of the layout. And I also painted the backdrop for the lower staging for Bay Ridge Yard, and also weathered the track. One of my favorite things about model railroading is operations. I really enjoy doing operations, setting up operation sessions, and having all my friends over for op sessions. And what we're doing is we're going to have an op session on the manufacturer's railroad, which is my switching layout right next to the main layout. And this layout is only 14 feet long. It's a giant L, but it definitely provides hours of enjoyment for operations. So here are some pictures of my friends that came over for one of my recent op sessions, including Heath from Humanity Junction. So some more progress that I did on the layout in 23 was the addition of lighting in my hidden staging areas so it could be visible by all operators. So yes, I have two layouts, but to connect them both, what I'm using is a lift bridge from my old layout that I recycled for the new layout. And I tied it into the current bench work and it locks into the manufacturer. So I can take trains from Cedar Hill Yard all the way into the manufacturers. It came out pretty good. So I was able to get a test train running across the bridge onto the main layout. In addition to layout construction, I also worked on a Athearn blue box and painted it pink. And this is on track for the Cure caboose. So after 5 years of sitting in storage, I was able to unpack some of my buildings and start placing them on the layout for track planning purposes. So in addition to my own work, I have models and structures from other modelers that will be placed on the layout. And they're going to make a nice addition to the city scene that I'm going to be creating here that will depict New Haven, Connecticut. So I also had some time to work on the main lines on the layout. But speaking of main lines, let's get back to the train ride because we're going to a really cool area. So we're entering Woodlawn, and Woodlawn they have a station, and also it's an area where the two mains meet, the New Haven line and the Harlem line. And that area right there has been photographed so many times in railroad books. If you check out some of the Morning Sun books, you'll see this area photographed. So now we're entering the Bronx, and it's hard to tell from the moving train, but there's a siding there. There's a track that goes in the back, and that ends up at Yankee Stadium. Now this is another area that is pretty cool because there's an old Conrail boxcar, and normally they have some equipment there, but normally there's a rescue diesel sitting there at any given point. You also have some cranes and also some other gondolas and other types of MOW equipment from Metro North. One cool thing about riding Metro North is that, you can take a look at the scenery and it gives you ideas on what to model. And having bridges and tracks next to buildings and things like that. It makes it more interesting for your modeling project. And you can get a lot of good ideas from this area here, as well as botanical gardens as well. So as we approach 125th Street, it will be our last stop before Grand Central. This area here is another area that's photographed a lot, and there's some tracks below that you'll see CSX trains come through, and I believe the trash train comes through this area here, and you're going to see it right about now. And I haven't really actually seen a train on there, but mostly just in photos. But it's definitely a cool area to model too. So we arrived at Grand Central Terminal, and one of the things that I was hoping to catch here was a heritage unit. And as soon as we pulled up, my train is there on the left. The train on the right, the lead unit was a heritage unit, so that was a nice treat, number 208. So let's go check out the station. So if you made it this far in the video, this is going to be the part of the video where I ask a trivia question to all my viewers. So here it is. What famous train once occupied track 34 in Grand Central Terminal? Let me know in the comments. And welcome to Grand Central Terminal. Another one of my annual trips to the city includes checking out the New York Transit Museum's O-scale layout. So enjoy. So since it's New Year's Eve, one of my biggest goals was getting trains running on the big layout before the new year. So I was able to get trains running on the main layout. Not only did I get trains running, but I also was able to use an original Huntington and Hartford locomotive going over original Huntington and Hartford tracks. So that was pretty cool to see. So I wanted to wish you and your family a blessed holiday season. But before I end this year in review video, I wanted to share with you some of the numbers that I had from my channel this year. So in 2023, I had 1,234 new subscribers, 217,000 views, 96 uploads, 539 comments, 8,957 likes, and 739 shares. So I want to thank everybody for supporting this channel, for all the likes, all the comments, all the new subscribers. So this is Ron at New Haven Rails. Thank you again. And I want to wish you and your family a happy and healthy and safe 2024. See you next year.